Hey there, everybody. Coco really just timed that perfectly. It's like her head went right up there with the hey there, everybody. Welcome
Yeah.
to our new edition of Big Brother 23 live feed spoilers. This is a video that is going to be a lot about campaigns and a lot about strategic debates and whether or not Derek X can actually figure out a way to stay this week.
There's a little bit of talk about it. There are people that are considering it. And, right now, Derek X has been campaigning more than Claire.
Yeah, he has been working really hard. He's not the only person that's been working as well, which is advantageous to him.
Yeah.
There's a scenario in which I could see him staying, but there's a lot of just different complications in all of this. Coco is really trying to be like that she's trying to be like that kid who stormed in on the BBC newscaster in the middle of his thing. You're trying to make us all distracted. Yeah, that's right. Now she's asleep. Great.
Yeah, now she's asleep. So now we're back. We're here with you.
Okay, well, we'll get into a lot of this because this video is going to be really a lot about just trying to figure out the right way for certain people within the cookout to go. If they want to keep Derek X, how much can they make that clear that they want to keep Derek X? And beyond that, do they really want to focus on their own game or sort of the larger alliance game?
Yeah, and that's where we'll start talking a little bit about Tiffany, because a lot of this has come from Tiffany, and she indicated a few days ago that she wants Derek X to stay. But, she can't go crazy all out or anything like that. She can't risk her own game and her own alliance. But at the same time, looking forward, keeping Derek X right now, she's thinking is the better move for her.
I've had a lot of stupid theories about Tiffany and her ideas here because at first there was a little bit of this, maybe you really just want to be super popular with America, Tiffany, because Derek X is racking up. But yeah, that quickly vanished from my brain. I was like, okay, that's just dumb. Tiffany's not going to do that. No, she legitimately wants Derek X to stay. And I think personally, a lot of this with Tiffany comes down to the idea of, I think she knows that as we get deeper and deeper within the game, some of these guys within the cookout, the Kylans of the world, the Xaviers of the world, they're going to be not the easiest to beat in competitions. And either Derek X is someone who could potentially go after one of them, or at the very least, he's just the shield to hide behind for a little while.
Yeah, right now, Tiffany hasn't won any HOHs. So, if she's really looking forward to when it's just the six and it's time to take each other out, is she able to win stuff? So far, she hasn't won anything, but she's winning at the game of strategic planning and making moves behind the scenes. But it just feels like in the new age of Big Brother, that gameplay isn't appreciated and cheered on as much as it used to be in the past, where people could win nothing or win very little and make it all the way to the end and win.
I hope we get back to some of that eventually, but before we even get to Azah and her role in all of this, why not hit that subscribe button? Because, we are talking Big Brother 23 all season long. We're either going to be very, very excited or very, very sad tomorrow, and I am in a state of great moral conflict because either Derek X stays and I'm really happy and I lose my winner pick and I have to swallow some pride about that, or my winner pick stays and I get to be happy about that, but then also I lose Derek X, and sad Matt may come out no matter what this week.
Oh, well, it's a good thing that Matt is going to be having a donut this weekend. We do have a poll up here at the channel over at the community tab on which donut he should have. Should it be the maple bacon bar, which seems to be winning? I was kind of surprised because the other choice is Nutella, which is just mwah, 10 out of 10. I love a Nutella, but it seems like there's a lot of people out there that love a bacon. And we're going to have a picture of the winner's choice up at our Instagram, so follow us at Matt and Jess TV.
I never imagined in a million years there would be so much interaction around the idea of what donut am I eating this weekend. See,
it's really fun though. Yeah. Thank you for everyone who is participating and having some fun with us.
No, it's been a real blast. It's been kind of a fun little thing to add to the interaction and the craziness of this week. And this week's probably going to get even crazier because it seems as though Azah may be on board with the idea of keeping Derek X.
Derek X is a good person for Azah to keep around right now, for Tiffany to keep around right now. He is a shield. He is someone that might go after the guys when the time comes.
Okay, now here's the problem. Let's say, okay, you've got Azah. You've got Tiffany. Let's say you've got Hannah. That's 3. That's good, but guess what? When you need 4, 3 is completely useless. You still get evicted with 3.
I know.
He needs to get one of these guys on board. He needs a Derek F. He needs a Kylan. He needs an Xavier.
Yeah, and Derek F likes him just fine, but, he's really stuck on him wanting to save Brittany last week over him, and he hasn't gotten past that yet. So, it's Wednesday. Is there enough time to change it around? It's getting down to the wire here.
Derek F. You and I need to have a talk. Come into our office here. Okay, Derek F. Claire was campaigning against you too last week. It wasn't even just there. So are you going to try to be like, you, Derek X, you went against me last week. I don't trust. It's like the other person did the same exact thing. And maybe you were more hurt for whatever reason that Derek X did it. But if you really do like Derek X in this game, Derek, how about you be like, oh, I'm going to do something that I've never done all season, which is actually make an interesting proactive move for the sake of my own game here. And actually, I don't care. I'm spitting fire on I find Derek F at times entertaining, but I find anything related to gameplay utterly frustrating with him. I want him to do something. This is your opportunity.
I agree. Shady Matt is out. I'm here for it. You're completely right. He needs to just do something and stop being like this. This is not really helping your game here.
No, I just want ultimately, I either want Azah to just go in there and just shake Derek F and get him to sort of see some reason. And Derek X has done a decent job of campaigning. Like, he even brought up the coup de whatever, which is technically the Coin of Destiny, which I feel like needs to be said like that just based on the name itself. But he brought this up, and he was like, you know what, I got a lot of BB bucks. You can have it, Derek F. I'm fine with that. Like, he's saying what he needs to say to alleviate concerns.
Yeah, but it's just not really moving the needle right now. And I think that the only person that really is going to be able to get through to him is Azah. And Azah seemingly is on board to keep Derek X if the votes can come around. But she does need to turn Derek F around. She is really the only person that has his ear.
Azah, I will believe in you as much as Jess believes in you in making you her winner pick. If you pull this off, I will be very, very happy with you. I will cheer you on for weeks on end. I know this is going to be a big incentive for you to go and talk to Derek F.
Yeah, I would like to see her playing a bit differently and harder. She was my pre-season winner pick before I knew how she was going to end up really playing the game. She's done some stuff that I've liked. She's done a lot of stuff that I question, but that's all right. My winner pick is still there.
Yes, that's all that matters in the end, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll move over to the next person that Derek X has really pushed hard, and that is Kylan, which apparently the thing to do with Kylan, because we saw this with Sarah Beth as well, is you just trap him in a room for just like hours on end, because I think Kylan's favorite thing to do is to hear Kylan talk about Kylan, and so this is something that was attempted yesterday.
Yeah, Derek really tried. That was a very long conversation, but Kylan just wouldn't commit. He just wouldn't commit.
There's something very, I don't know, I kind of appreciate the idea of Derek X sort of telling him that he could act afterwards like it was just the sympathy vote. And I want to see the Academy Award winning performance if Kylan does save Derek X, and then he's like after the fact trying to be like, whoa, I didn't think anybody else was going to vote for him. I didn't mean for him to actually stay in the game.
This is a terrible idea, because regardless if it turns out to be oh my goodness, he actually stayed, everyone's still going to be mad at Kylan anyways
Yeah.
for doing that in the first place. Like, it just doesn't matter. It's the result that's going to end up mattering, not if he sort of, oh, I didn't realize. It's just like, well, you should have just voted with the group like you were supposed to, and you didn't, and now we're here.
This is where I think a lot of people are going to have their frustrations this week, because I think Kylan's ultimate opinion on all of this is that he would like to keep Derek X, but he's not sure if it's best for the six, best for the cookout. Mm-hmm. And we are at this point in the game right now where this cookout has been enormously successful. It has dominated the entirety of this season.
Yeah.
But in the end, there's only one winner. And only one person from this six could presumably win if that ends up being the final six. And odds are, if those six go to the end together and they've kind of done everything for the sake of getting to that goal, some people are going to be disadvantaged. Some people are going to be in a harder spot than others. There's always going to be people who woulda, coulda, shoulda the thing once they get to the other side of it. And so to me, this is really all about, okay, when are you within the cookout going to make a move that one person within the alliance doesn't like? Because Xavier's really the only person who doesn't like this. So when are you going to risk making Xavier upset?
Yeah, and I get why Xavier may not want to keep Derek X, and I get why Kylan doesn't want to keep Derek X as well. He's a strong competitor, and they are strong competitors. So I'm sure they are worried that Derek X will win an HOH and take one of them out, because they are all getting nearer to the end of the game where some of the bigger competitors, they need to go, and they are going to be targeted. I would have a harder time seeing at this point a Derek X winning and looking around and being not deciding to go after someone else who's a really big target.
Here's where things can get even more devious, and Coco's going to assist me for this stunt. It's going to be a little bit more. That is a old school. See, we used to do that with Coco a lot when she was a puppy. And so I felt like this was appropriate time to bust out the evil Coco laugh, because Xavier, for everyone who remembers, he has to enter solitary confinement as a part of his veto punishment.
Yes. Yes, he does. And while being in solitary confinement worked really well for Dan, we have to remember that Dan was in danger when this was happening, when he came up with his Dan's funeral, and he needed an out at that point. Xavier's not in that spot right now. He's just being separated from the group, which is at a time, especially when you do have Tiffany talking about stuff, and you have Azah talking about stuff with Derek X. This is a really bad time for him to not be around.
I just think this would be really, really funny, if nothing else, if all the rest of the cookout comes together while Xavier is just locked in a room somewhere being sad, and then afterwards they can be like, well, you weren't here to say no to the idea. It's like, you guys will know that Xavier is against this, but I just think this whole punishment, which I think initially a lot of us probably were like, okay, that really, really sucks, but, it hasn't worked, it hasn't hurt people terribly in the past. Like, it could have a really big effect on this game if something crazy happens over this next little while.
Yeah, I mean, this game is about sharing information, real information, not lies. The people that have the most information are able to go really far in this game, and that's why Dan, the exception, is not sort of the rule of this, that, other people have been in solitary confinement and are missing out on information. And right now, Xavier's the person who really wants this to stay in place. And if he's not out in the world here being able to do that, then that could go sideways. He's got to really depend on Kylan to keep everybody in line together. We're going to be doing this. Derek X is going out. Because everybody else is already scattered and is like, what about over here? What's happening over here?
I think the thing that's going to make me so sad about the end of this when Derek X probably goes is that I will spend the rest of the game being like, it was this close. It's like, you can see a scenario where this happens. It's not like this is completely out of the realm of possibility. The last thing to talk about here is Hannah did say to Derek F last night that Derek X has to go. I'm going to become a little bit of Ron Burgundy here and just be like, I don't believe you with Hannah, because I just think she's saying this to Derek F because she thinks it's probably not going to happen and she doesn't want to put herself out on an island and look like she wants Derek X to stay.
Yes, and that is the way at this point, it's Wednesday, the eviction's tomorrow,
Yeah.
unless she's feeling like there's a real opportunity for some sort of a flip. I mean, I'm sure she knows that Derek F is mad at Derek X about what happened last week. So, because everybody knows that he holds grudges, and it's just the way that it is. But I mean, unless Hannah really knows that something's going to be happening, it's okay to campaign a little bit. But if you're going to campaign really hard and you're part of this other alliance and Derek X is not part of this alliance, I mean, it just doesn't look great. You only really go that hard if you know you can make a difference. And Hannah is not going to be the person to turn Derek F around. It's just not going to happen.
No. We're going to be back very, very soon to discuss everything. My interest is piqued. I am excited for what is going to be coming up. I may be inevitably disappointed, but that's okay.
That's okay. We have a donut coming up this weekend for you, which I will watch.
That just seems like torture. Why would you do this to yourself?
Because it smells so good.
Oh, right.
And you can tell me how good it is.
All right. Well, what do you guys think could happen to keep Derek X in the game? Let us know in the comments. And if you like this video, hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you here next time.